Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. Now, as you may have noticed on GayGamer.net, I posted my review of Year Walk, which, unfortunately, I have a hard time recommending. And if you read my review on GayGamer.net, I already said this, but if you don't, then I'll just tell you now. Year Walk on the Wii U, it's not bad. It's a good game, and it has some really eerie visuals and sound effects, and it does create a wonderful, supernatural, eerie mood. But unfortunately, it's really short, like really short. So I have a hard time recommending it at the Wii U price point. The iOS app is only like $4, and $4 is more appropriate price for the length of experience that you will get. So if you really like adventure games and spooky things and indie, it's a great indie adventure game, but just be forewarned that if you dive into it, you might get to the end and say, that was a little expensive for what I just played. But that's what kept me from making any real progress in Batman Arkham Knight again. And then, unfortunately, I'm still not making any progress in Arkham Knight because I just received another game for review, which I can't talk about yet, really, because of the embargo. But you can look for my review on GayGamer.net this week. But I am playing Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. And, I was a little offended that I had to request a review copy. I mean, do they not know who I am? I eat, sleep, and breathe Animal Crossing. It's ridiculous. So, but they sent me one, and now I am playing it, and I will have thoughts for you. Next week's episode will be all about Happy Home Designer. But I'm not breaking the embargo, so I will not be talking about it yet. And then, this weekend, I've been playing Happy Home Designer a lot, just, for my review and all, but I did squeeze in a little bit of Splatoon time, because there was another Splatfest. And it's funny to me that, the promise of, new levels and new gear and new weapons isn't enough for me to be like, oh, let me just turn on Splatoon again. Because, I do enjoy Splatoon when I play it. I just can go a while without playing it. It's not like I feel like I've got to play it all the time. But when I do play it, I play it for a while, and I do enjoy it. Even when I lose, which is often. But a Splatfest will get me to play, because it's a timed thing, and you've got only Saturday to play it. So, the sides this time were art and science, and obviously I picked art. And I actually had no idea. I assumed art would win, as far as popularity, but then I wasn't sure how they would go as far as, who was going to win all the battles. But surprisingly, when I logged in on Sunday to check the results and get my points, art was marginally more popular than science. It was 51 to 49. And then, as far as the actual battles won, art was 51%, and science again was 49%. So art ended up winning the whole thing, which was great. I got more points. But it's funny because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I thought art might win as far as popularity, but then we're talking about video game fans who might be into, math and science and computers and stuff like that, so they might go for science. I don't know. And then I didn't know which way it was going to go as far as who had the better players. Because what I found was, when I did actually play a good chunk of the game on Team Art, we started off really strong. Team Art was kicking ass, which, I felt made logical sense because you're painting. So team art would be good at that. But then, towards the end of my play session, I was just trying to get up to, I made it to one level. I wanted to just get to Art Defender. I just wanted to get one more level up, so I could get a few more points. And towards the end, it got really difficult because in the beginning, I felt like Nintendo was doing a really good job of making the teams kind of even. But towards the end of it, like, I mean, after I'd played a bunch of rounds, like, the last bunch of rounds that I ended up playing, really lopsided. Like, really lopsided. Like, the levels on Team Art, we were all lower levels. We were all, like, 15 to 25. And then Team Science was all, like, they were, like, level 20 to, like, 40 or whatever. They were all in their 20s and 30s. But also what I noticed was that Team Science was all, like, champions and defenders, whereas Team Art was, like, I forget what they were called, but, like, the newbies, the first level or two that you get after you and then, like, Art Fan or whatever it is. Like, we were all, like, so clearly, even though they might have been a level 20 player, they were a Science champion, so they were obviously, like, really dedicated and really good at the game. So, that's when you get your ass kicked. Because there was one round that I played where we got our asses kicked, and it was like, we had like 10% of the board. It was really just not cool. And at the end I looked, and because it's the Splatfest, it doesn't tell you how much you painted, so you can see that someone had 0. But someone had no kills, and they weren't killed at all, so I assumed they dropped out at some point. And that's why it was like 4-3, so that's why we got our asses kicked. Also, they were like way higher levels than us. But later, there were levels where Team Art got our asses handed to us, and we were just not good compared to Team Science. So Team Science was really good. But apparently Team Art was better because they ended up winning in the end by just the slightest margin. Unfortunately, I was never on those teams. I'm not very good at Splatoon, so when I play Splatoon, it helps me if I am on a team of really good players because I can ride their coattails to victory. Otherwise, I just bring us down worse. So anyway, that's it for this week. It's a short episode this week. And next week, it'll be a bit longer because I'll have a lot to say about Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. So come back here next week and listen to me ramble on about that new game. And also keep an eye out on gaygamer.net for my full, actual, official review of the new Animal Crossing game. Will I love it? Probably. Spoilers! See you then. Bye.